Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to game number. That is not at all what you're supposed to be looking at. Bad? What the heck? Okay, I guess we're not looking at that screen. Fantastic. Welcome to game number one between Can Censorship and Heavy Impact. We are going to go ahead and be into getting to the game in just a little bit. We're waiting for one last player to actually make it in, but until then, we can go over those wonderful, wonderful map picks, map bans, all that great stuff that you guys are here for. We did go ahead and have Heavy Impact win the toss. They have chosen for first pick, which gives map pick over to the side of Can't Censorship. Can't Censorship did get rid of Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. We additionally do go ahead and have the Dragonshire and Alterac Pass being banned out by Heavy Impact. Lastly, we will be going ahead and going actually to Cursed Hollow. I always kind of like Cursed Hollow. Cursed Hollow is the sort of default map. It's interesting. You talk to different people. Some people say it's Dragonshire. Some people say it's Cursed Hollow. When you first make an account, you actually have to go to Cursed Hollow and play it for like 5 games before it lets you get to the other maps, because the objective is the most easy to understand for new players. The thing I really like about it is it's one of the largest maps in the map pool. I think it's bigger than Towers of Doom. Sky Temple is the only one that might kind of rival it in terms of overall size. And because of that, you definitely end up with kind of a 1-3-1 setup by default. You aren't going to have like a double soaker necessarily, because even though a Malthiel can actually get double soaking done and won't lose experience, just that long run through the blind jungle does end up just creating a lot of opportunities to gank Malthiel or gank really whoever as they run through the pass. So that's something that most teams do try and avoid, and I support them in that. Getting ganked is no fun. Trust me, I'm an offlaner myself. I know all too well. So we are going to be going in and getting into that game. Kind of the things that I expect to happen whenever we get there will be that Cursed Hollow always has a big, big, big emphasis on the globals. Vikings, I consider it probably the best map that you can actually have Vikings on. Dahaka, very, very, very high in the meta at the moment. Sorry, they were asking if I was ready, and I'm like, I said I was ready a bit ago, but you know what? It doesn't help to check again. So you do go ahead and have...
Hollow.
Oh, wait, into the... Hawkeye has a huge, huge, huge priority on this map. A lot of stuff can get done on the Dehaka, just because he's very, very high in the meta, because he just got that rework, and he's also just really, really good. So that's 50-50. That's definitely something to look into. We do go ahead and getting into the draft right there, as you can see above me. Notice my arms are very, very bare. Go ahead and fix that for you while we get into this game. So, looking at things, we do go ahead and have Heavy Impact, of course, taking first ban, because that's what happens when you give map pick to the other team, is that you get first pick and first ban. It's a very nice way of putting it. Get all this stuff up and running. So, with that being said, we do go ahead and have quite a bit of attention being paid to Brightwing is going to be the first one that is banned out. Brightwing, one of those globals we were already talking about quite significantly. So definitely going to be, I kind of expect to see Dahaka banned out and maybe Vikings. But of course, because of the meta and because that patch did not actually come out yesterday, or Tuesday, as we were all expecting, would you go ahead and have the Zagara taken off the map? Do not want to see any bugs on this map. I do have to wonder if that means no Nubarak either, because Nubarak is technically above. Although, I don't know, like, beetles are kind of one of the nicer bugs. I also did not get this thing through the, should have done this beforehand, and I didn't. Alright, another global gets taken out by Heavy Impact. It looks like they kind of want to try and force their opponents into a 1-3-1. They don't want people that can move back and forth across the map. I do wonder if they're planning on first picking Dahaka if he's available, because with the current meta shifts and with everything that was redone, I kind of think that Dahaka is in the best place. And then we do go ahead and have Stukov being banned out, so he's leaving Dog on the table. Are we going to see them come out right now? And indeed we do. Hold it! I have fun. So Zergling is going to go ahead and be Dahaka. Not quite a Zergling, but you know what? Frankly, of the members on the field, one of the closest you can get. I would certainly say that Dahaka is closer to a Zergling than Kerrigan. It's also interesting how much Zerg hate is coming out of Can't Censorship. They're just like, you know what, no Stukov, no Zagara. They probably would have gotten to Zahaka if they could have gotten to it. Vala coming out in response. Have to wonder if we're going to have the multi-shot build for team fights, or if they're going to try and go into a duelist Vala. We do also go in and have the Thanatos coming out on that Blaze. I know his name isn't actually Guy Montov, but I kind of just feel like it should be, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's not really going to be a thing, but that was the Fire Bad Hero's name, and I want that to be the case. You know, Malfurion is extra bad because you can kind of put the root underneath Blaze as he charges, and he will end up being right in the middle and has that like second before he actually gets to move. Well, I will be putting up the predictions in just a second, Rids. So we do go ahead and have Hanzo being taken as well. Interesting map for Hanzo. I do actually kind of feel like that this map is one of the more open maps we have in the map pool. So Hanzo, I don't feel like gets as much value as he gets on other maps. But obviously Roger is just really, really good at Hanzo, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Alright, we can go ahead and have the Stitches being banned out. Interestingly, non-Zerg ban coming out of Can't Censorship, but there is the other bug. Hey, I ended up being right. I love being right. It's like my favorite thing in the world. So we should go ahead and have Anubrak also banned out. No Zagara, no Anub. No Valentine's event in this game. Not going to be a thing we can look forward to. I will say, looking at the stats, Can't Censorship and Heavy Impact are both 1-0 in the tournament. They both did win their match last week. Obviously, this is week number 2, so there's not a huge amount of data to go over. But Porky does go ahead and come out with the solo healer Uther, or possibly the off-tank Uther, because Murden is obviously... I do not expect to see a off-lane Murden. It could happen, but it does not work out well in my experience. So, and Red coming in on the dwarf himself. I'm seeing a lot less emphasis on StarCraft heroes, but thankfully we do have Tychus coming in. Only one StarCraft hero on this. Well, 2. Okay, Tychus Dahaka on the side of Heavy Impact. Only Blaze so far over on Can't Censorship. Very, very strong anti-StarCraft bans coming out, but not so much strong in the actual picks. I have a friend that just says that whoever has the most StarCraft heroes win. Does not know the meta. Just really like StarCraft, and so I always kind of end up looking for that. So the last pick is going to be Sylvanas, still not thinking of StarCraft. My friend will be upset. So with that said, we do go ahead and have everyone in there. Looking at things, I like the front line from Can't Censorship. Vala and Sylvanas definitely able to put a lot of damage down. It's really, but the thing is, Tychus is going to kind of shred through one of the frontline people. It's going to be Vala basically trying to make sure Tychus cannot stay close. Hanzo does a decent bit of damage, and we'll go into the game right now. Look forward to it, everyone, and I will see you. Well, I'll see you after the game, but of course I'll talk to you the whole time. Look forward to it. Alright, and here we go into game number 1. Coming in on the left-hand side, our boys in blue, we do have Can't Censorship. We've got Porky playing that Uther. Marlo coming in on Vala in the green, very, very stylish. We do have Rhett coming in on Muradin. That is the... That is Candy Cane Muradin, I believe. It's a little bit hard. Yep, I do go ahead and see the little candy sprinkles. Nathanatos on that Blaze, and Nano coming in on Sylvanas. On the other side of the battlefield,
10
The
seconds.
rebels in red, we do go and have heavy impact. Zergling playing the Dahaka.
5,
Infrared
4,
playing the Tychus. Go to
3,
1v9 everyone
2,
apparently. Trimmer is on the
1.
Diablo. We do have Malfurion
Well,
moving to the bottom,
what
being
are
played
you
by Weary
waiting
Day.
for?
And Roger is coming in on that ghostly Hanzo. Preemptive spread out on the side of heavy impact are not interested in a 5v5 in the middle. They do kind of think, you know what, maybe our opponents will be able to outfight us initially. We just want to make sure we get that experience immediately. I like Diablo's position here, trying to catch the rotation, but Sylvanas does go around the other side. Druid is doing the same thing. No one quite moving to the bottom lane just yet. Okay, Nathanos is on their way. They're still trying to cast the rotation. Blaze should be able to report that there's no rotation, that the enemies are already down here. So that is going to trigger a go ahead. They're moving in. Zerglings takes a lot of damage. They get caught by a Stormbolt. Nice, nice, nice rollout by Marlowe. Does not get hit by that. I love this map. I hate it that there's stuff happening all over the place all the time. Alright, Nano going back and forth and back. Red up here looking to go ahead and hit into Infrared. Nano has already taken a lot of damage from this tag. Tychus is down to about half health. Is not going back to tap. Is trying to bait Infrared forward, but Infrared does not want to do it. Meanwhile, the Mercenaries are being picked up by Marlowe and Porky on the side of CCS. Heavy Impact is being picked up with Weary Day and Roger. There's Zerfin going back and forth, fighting out with Blaze. Alright, then we're going back and forth. It does look like Red is re-engaging into the middle lane. Roughly even experience. No one's really lost any so far. And both Russian camps are picked up at almost the same second. We do actually have Hanzo over here picking up the Giants. No one actually up on the side of CCS on their Giants just yet. Alright, nice little fight in here. It does look like the Spell Camp is taken out by CCS first. So we have a slight advantage, but that advantage is lost because Vala does see that the Giants are taken by the Hanzo. Oh, a lot of damage coming in. Roger does go ahead and flip over the trees. Red is glanced to a wall. He's about halfway to death. Does get put to sleep. Then a big combo coming in. Damage coming in, but does look like Red will go ahead and be able to walk out of there. Porky following that up. Well, up here, going to go ahead and secure these camps. Meanwhile, actually, no one is in top lane, so just for a minute, they're actually losing experience. It does look like Red is on his way in order to make sure that doesn't happen. Still the fight down here. Now, this is going to be an advantage for Zerglings, because Zerglings does not have to go to the point immediately, while Blaze needs to get moving up there if they want to make it an uneven fight. Diablo comes out of the shadows in order to make sure that Porky can't channel that. So it's a 4v4 right now, but the thing is Dahaka can come up at any time, and Blaze cannot. Porky gets a lot of arrows to the face, though. Is looking very, very weak, and Uther is not known for his mana-efficient heals. Alright, Red taking a huge amount of damage. We do have Murder going ahead and being taken out by that. Sorry for the slight delay in being able to cast. I swear everyone messaged me as soon as I started doing something like this. We did go ahead and have Dahaka move up, but Dahaka makes it an uneven fight, and the uneven fight does cause a 2 kill in favor of Heavy Impact. Alright, we do go ahead and have a slight experience, but very, very, very slight experience for Heavy Impact as they go ahead and move through the middle of the map. Nathanos did have to stay back down here, but they did not really gain anything from it because those 2 kills completely outdid the soak Nathanos was able to get. Marlowe up in the top lane. Porky moving in and looking for a gank onto Zergling. Zergling does step up. Might have stepped up a little bit too far. Does burrow and is able to get out of there.
The choice.
Once again, though, very, very heads up, avoiding of that tongue. Marlowe taking a lot of damage as they go ahead and move back. Weary Day and Roger are in the area. There is the stun going into Zergling. second spawn is coming up. Is Blaze going to make the trip? They do actually have Diablo down here instead of Dahaka. That's a little bit unfortunate. I think they predicted that the tribute would come bottom, but it did not. Porky is channeling it. No one actually moving. Okay. I don't know why they didn't contest that. No, neither team had level 10, but they do go ahead and give that tribute over to Censorship. So we are at 1-1 all. I guess 1 all is the more correct way of saying that, if I'm thinking about it. Roger and Weird Day come down here to go ahead and try and pick up these mercenary cans. It does look like a boss play is being attempted. Timber is in the area. Weird Day sees it. Are we actually going to have a full fight? Dahaka and Blaze are once again not here. We're not actually trying boss, just moving down here because the tribute will be down here eventually. And it does look like Blaze has started double soaking, possibly in order to be in the area. I don't think he's actually coming down in order to come down to the tribute because Jude hasn't even like started its respawn yet. So that's definitely not something we can look forward to.
Earn my favor.
Alright. Tribute is starting to come up. It will be up in about 20 seconds. Red takes a good bit of damage from Tremor. Infrared comes into the area. It's 4-on-4 at the moment. Blaze is starting to move down for the top lane. Red got a little bit, slight bit of anti-synergy there as the roots actually got pushed out of the roots by the Diablo. Infrared in the area to pick this up and is already channeling. Porky moving up there in order to try and shut it down. There with the dragon, or the sun arrow coming across the battlefield. A lot of people, but no actual follow-up kills. Porky is the only one that's kind of low. Trimmer is also low. There's the move in. Nathaniel is right around a lot of the enemy. Oh, Infrared is being targeted. They do move up. They're right on top of them, and we do have Infrared being taken out, but Blaze also taken out in the backline. We are still at a 4 versus 4. Nano has to fall back. Is down to about 20 health, but they cannot fall back in that direction. That is the direction of the enemy team. Roger taking a huge bit of damage. Nano on top of it. Nano wants to go ahead and take out. And yes, Roger does go down. Trimmer looking not very healthy, but neither is Red. We still have a 3 versus 3. Trimmer very low. Red very low. Red does get taken out. Zerkly is fighting. Zerkly goes ahead and consumes the essence. Day coming in from the back line. And we do go ahead and have a lot of damage. We do have the Malfurion being taken out. Zerkly is the only one still alive. Diablo coming in from the side, but we do go ahead and have the channel coming in from Red. Can they hold Diablo back? They cannot. Alright, we do have a kill onto the Valhalla. Or Valhalla? How about Vala? I added a hall in there just because. Alright, we do go with this is going to trigger heavy impact to move in on their boss at the top. It does look like the Censorship is aware this is happening. You see them all disappear off the map. They will go ahead and move to the bottom.
Enough tribute this time.
Alright, here's everything else moving right across. Going to the best that they can. So this is tribute point for CCS. If CCS loses this, then they will be cursed. They want to make sure that doesn't happen. There is the mind control onto the Diablo. Maybe not the best target, but you know what? It may not matter. Tripper goes ahead and is just absolutely deleted, and not a lot of damage done to the health bars of CCS.
The red team has destroyed a fort.
Meanwhile, we do go ahead and have the top fort being taken down. Bottom fort is not long for this world, as it also gets removed. And we do have 2 tributes apiece. It does look like CCS made the decision to go in and do damage. Don't worry about the boss. The boss will be taken out on its own eventually. However, Nano takes a lot of damage.
hero slain.
All right, gets that cleaned up very nicely. So it does look like Heavy Impact has decided, you know what, let's finish the job that boss started. Both bosses are down currently, and they're starting to move through.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple.
Curse is spawning at the bottom. This is the absolute go time curse. They do go ahead and get rid of the wall in the top lane in order to make all the bosses able to go through very quickly. Red goes ahead and moves through. It looks like once again they've decided to go ahead and start targeting Trevor, even though he is the tank. But no mind control comes out, so no immediate blow up this time around. But Marlowe actually does get the curse in the back line. A little bit unexpected. Dahaka did not come down. There's a big arrow followed up by the invulnerable lands in order to make sure that Marlowe doesn't go ahead and get hit. There are a lot of random vengeances going down. We do have a kill onto 3-4-0 in terms of, oh, Marlowe may be going down. Marlowe actually goes down, has 50 health, but everyone else is going ahead and collapsing on this Dahaka. Dahaka, you do not move very fast while you're underneath, and Zerkly does get taken down as well. 4-4-0. Only Tychus survives on the size of Heavy Impact. And it does look like the bottom fort, Nathanael is already there. They're trying to push in. Wallow was the only one that's not running in to try and go ahead. Are they actually going for in? I think they may have time. They've got about 10 seconds, but do they do enough damage? They are not level 20 yet. Infrared takes a lot of damage, and once again, the Tychus does survive. We do have people respawning right now. The core is down to 39%. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to retreat? It does look at 8%, 6%, and we do have game number 1 going the side of can't connect, different CCS, can't censorship. I will see what I can do to see if I can make the stream a little bit, but it is very difficult, very difficult. All right, looking at the stats at the end of the game, looking at healing numbers first, because I always start with healers. We do go ahead and have Malfurion, Weary Day leading the healing numbers, although granted, Uther is not really known for his sustained long-term heals, so that doesn't necessarily mean as much as it might. Looking at damage, we do have Vala leading the charts by a significant margin, coming in with 53,000. Sylvanas comes in second, and Hanzo dead even. Finally, Blaze does win the offlane battle, out-soaking Dahaka by about 6,000 experience. Here are the talents. Love them, hate them, adore them, condemn them. I'm definitely not a high enough skill level to be able to actually criticize any of these picks, so obviously we can't see the full build because neither team actually got over to 20. But with that, let me see what I can do, and I will see you in game number 2. All right, I am back. We are in game number 2 between Can Censorship and Heavy Impact. We did go ahead and Can Censorship, to be honest, kind of had a bit of a turnaround victory in game number 1. I'm not at all sure that that was a like the game kind of seemed to be sliding ever so slightly out of the. It's like they got one of the tributes because the other team didn't contest. They got another one because they managed to hit a mind control and just blow it up. But when the fights were prolonged, it did seem like Heavy Impact had the advantage. But then they ended up getting that tribute and just rode it straight into just a smash into the core, and then the game was over. So we'll have to go ahead and see if they can carry this. It is a best of 5 series, so of course we do have at least 2 more games. We are on Sky Temple, the map famous for we can run around and we don't have to fight the other team. Once again, it does look like Heavy Impact is trying to avoid letting Can't Censorship have those globals. Are betting out Paulset. Are we going to see Brightwing here? No, they do actually get rid of Dahaga. Does that mean they're going to try and take Brightwing? Oh, I guess they do have first pick, so Brightwing incoming, right? A little bit faster. They ruined my joke. I can't believe these guys. No, they actually leave Bright on the board. They're going to take Blaze away from the Thanatos. Say, we really like Blaze. He does a lot of damage. He was nerfed, but apparently the pros just do not care. They're like, yep, you can nerf him if you want. He's still really good. So Zergling is going to stay in their StarCraft wheelhouse. A bit further away from being a Zergling than they were on Dahaga, to be fair. But still, you know, pretty close to home. Zergling Hero win Blizzard. Thanatos is going to say, okay, I can't be Blaze. I'll go ahead and get onto the Hogger. And Red gets back on Murden, does not want to lose his dwarf. Says, I like being a leafy dwarf. Murden was somewhat difficult for them to take out last time, although not. Tychus just lived forever last game. It was ridiculous. I mean, Tychus is not the most mobile of heroes, but you know what? It didn't even really matter. It didn't even matter. Alright, Karazi, interesting. Not a tank, you see a whole lot. TBQH. But with that, we go ahead and have Roger and Weary Day picking their. Now, Roger on the Greymane is interesting because Greymane is a super, like, high burst potential character. And this is a map which is kind of like you can really avoid your enemy and occupy different temples a lot. So that definitely says to me that Heavy Impact still intends to go and fight their opponents. They're not going to play the distant style that we see very often on this map. So we'll see how that works out for them. Something bold play Cotton. Once again, the Anubrak does get taken out. Anubrak just refuses to play when he can't play with Zagara. It's in his contract. What do you want from me? Alright, we do go ahead and have the last ban, and finally the Brightwing gets banned out. So you know what? We actually left this on the table. We weren't terrified of it, but we still don't want you having globals, so get the birdie out of here. So clearly the only global that is left is Abathur. Let's go! Or I guess technically Vikings, but I don't see a Vikings coming. I also don't see a Abathur coming, so there you go. We have Anduin and Sylvanas. A lot of Warcraft heroes coming out of the Censorship. Going for that All Alliance synergy bonus that does not exist. The last couple of picks, we still need a tank and our other DPS. Are we also going to get a super burst? Now, granted, Sylvanas is a very bursty DPS, so it does seem to be. But Sylvanas can also split push. She can also play the distant game. Tyrael, interesting. Definitely heavy in game. I mean, okay, I shouldn't immediately assume we're going Judgment. I just always do because I always get excited. But so definitely a point, either a point defense comp. Although Karazim and Raymond to me just says they're going to go in and they're going to go in hard, possibly displacement from Junkrat. I want to see Judgment, and I don't think it's the right play, but I want to see it. And we do have Nano coming in with the Cassia. So with that being done, we do go into the game right now. Once again, I will see you later. Do keep in mind that this tournament is being funded by the players. So you can see Nightbot occasionally talking about the Maturino. Um, Go ahead and click the lovely link it gives you, and it'll be awesome. Yay. All right, and here we go into the game. Coming in on the blue side, the battalion of. I feel like I need a better word than blue after I say battalion. The- but anyway, we do go in now. I tried to think of something else, a B word that meant blue, other than blue, but I couldn't come up with one. But Porky is playing the Anduin. We do have Marlowe playing that Sylvanas. Interesting that they use Sylvanas 2 games in a row, but they actually switch who plays it. Nathanatos is hiding behind other people, but is playing the Hogger. Rhett is once again on the Muradin, and who did I not say? A Nano on the Cassia, there we go. On the other side of the battlefield, moving up towards the control point, we do have Weary Day is playing that Karazim. Trimmer is on the Kyriel. We do go ahead and have Roger playing that Junkrat. Blaze is being played by Zergly, and Infrared, best player according to some, is coming around on that Grey Mane. Alright. Nano moves around. Now, Infrared obviously knows Nano is here. Nano does not 100% know that Infrared is here. If anything comes of that. Right now, neither team is super committing to a fight. Red does see the rotation down. Warns Nano, and there comes Infrared out of the bushes, but no real damage. Red and it's a 4-man fight here in the bottom lane. Remember when I said these teams seem like they weren't intending on avoiding each other? Well, color me correct? Everyone else way ahead. The offlaners are fighting out here. It does look like both teams have kind of stepped back from each other in order to go ahead and pick up their giant cats. Like how Red kind of like runs over there real quick to be like, okay, what's going on over here? What can I see? Alright, there is the... Oh, a nice stun going on to Nano. Nano may not be able to... We do have the pull out from Anduin, but Infrared says, I don't care about being pulled. You can pull, I can leap. And it looks like Anduin actually may... Porky may be in a bad position. Great body blocks coming out on the side of Heavy Impact. And we do go ahead and have... Trevor almost goes down, but you know what is even better than almost going down? Actually going down, and that's what happens to Anduin. Weary Day is in the middle, going ahead and picking up experience. We have a full level lead on the side of Heavy Impact so far. Sylvanas considering coming down. There are a lot of very low health bars. Red and Sylvanas are making waves, making tracks. Weary Day does come down saying, hey, I'm a healer, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Meanwhile, Cassia has moved into the middle lane to pick up this experience, trying to catch up on that experience deficit they've got. They are about half a level behind at this point. So that maybe just been all the experience was on the ground. Just picked up. That being taken care of, we do have Weary Day just go ahead and dash out. Not want to actually take any free damage. We are at level. Actually, the experience is completely evened out, so it looked like that was like kind of a fake lead that they had. Just a second. With that being taken care of, we do have a little bit of damage being done to this wall. Like Cassie, she goes by. Middle court is being occupied by Anduin, but there are other people nearby. Trimmer takes a little bit of damage. Not really committing to this at the moment. I should probably pull up Alex. Sorry about that. So I have only 4 stacks actually on Thunderstroke. That actually is surprising. Great job avoiding it. And also 0 stacks of Stormbolt. So it does look like Heavy Impact is just doing a great job of only fighting when they actually need to. But Weary Day, or the Blaze does get taken out. 1 kill to 2, still in favor of Heavy Impact for the overall kill total. But with that being done, we do go and have Porky being left from this point. They move up in order to try and mess with Junkrat. Junkrat did back off the point as soon as the kill happened, but everyone is back on, so there should be more aggression coming out in just a second. Alright, top point is being contested over, bottom point is not. Bottom point is now done, so if Nano and everyone want to, they can actually move up and contest this. The other team has actually sent Greymane to the bottom to get clear, but here comes Marlowe. But we'll stay on the actual fight. It does look like basically the entirety of both temples was gotten by CCS. Not the complete, but I'd say like 95%. I mean, a little bit of the top was done. I think the entire mid was gotten by CCS, and it feels like they got 75% of the top one. I may not be the best at math. I'm definitely not the best at math. Porky's taking a lot of damage, but here come his friends. Not quite fast enough to save him, and when it does go down, there is the spin that Thanatos is spinning to win. But Ret is looking not too long for this world, and does get taken out. 4 kills to 1. Nano trying to make that 4 kills to 2, but may end up making it 5 kills to 1. Really, really wants this. Oh! Also, I missed it, but Sylvanas did actually get the gradient down below. I can just imagine comms right now as Junkrat like poops, like you have almost no health, and Junkrat's like, "Hey, here's the enemy," and you're like, "No, I don't want them right now." Marlo, of course, using the Sylvanas push cheese in order to move in. Level 10s are picked up for both sides. On the side of Heavy Impact, we do go and have 7-sided strike, bunker drop, sanctification, rip tire, and Greymane is confused. On the side of CCS, we do have Holy Word Salvation, interesting. Ball lightning, Vortipulse, Avatar, and Wailing Arrow. I guess that makes sense though. The only thing that really interrupts salvation, because Greymane doesn't really have any stuns. Neither does Kerosene. Bunker or Blaze can, but you can kind of block against it. Obviously, Junkrat can knock you out of it. There's pushing down below. Alright, Trimmer just go ahead and goes back and forth. Ret trying to move in here, but not being successful.
The light of the sun grows. Soon they shall pass in my glory.
That level 4 is just so like continual, where you just are not allowed. Oh, we do have a movement up here. Hawker just get taken out. I'm sorry for missing that. I was busy talking about the level 4 of Junkrat, and I'm like, I see a lot of very aggressive, like forward-facing people up in the top lane. Just like they said, you know what? We are losing a lot of structures to the cannon, so we'll go into this. However, here comes the 7-sided strike. Gets into a lot of people. Weary Day down about half. Does drop the bunker. Porky getting very low. There is a stun onto the attempt. There is that. And again, they just don't actually have a lot to interrupt it. For it taking a lot of damage, there is some invulnerability coming out. 4 versus 4 up here. Zerling runs in, but Zerling, you don't have the hit points to do that. I'm sorry, my friend. Zerling does get taken out, and Murden's hot on the trail. Where's the hammer going next? Infrared does avoid the hammer, does go the way they weren't expecting, but they still have enough follow-up. And we have a 3-4-1, if you want to count the kill onto Hagra as the one that started that fight. Vortipulse comes forward. My poor computer. No? Bad? Roger gonna go down here, but he's only gonna get a couple of... Actually, it looks like they got a lot of shots. I didn't realize... I haven't seen that being picked up, but... Roger has been doing decent work on this. But it looks like CCS is not actually even interested. They're like, okay, you can have that temple. Never mind. As the Wailing Arrow comes out, they say, that was not Wailing Arrow. As that comes out, they are no longer interested in fighting this. Here's the Riptire looking for kills. Right on top of Nano. Does hit Nano, but Nano does survive, just barely. Touches that healing well. So the other things we do actually have an advantage for Heavy Impact. They did get the top fort, and they did get the bottom fort. Whereas their opponents have not quite gotten this fort yet. Here's everyone else kind of moving through. A lot of damage. Zergling having to fall back. Does not have a lot of health. Neither does Ret. Ret is moved right to terrible and actually starts to hit damage. Great use of the Holy Word Salvation in order to protect that. And we do have a kill onto Blaze one more time. Infrared actually gets that. Never mind. No, they do not. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry. This is going to trigger the boss call coming from CCS. Barley take a lot of damage. And by a lot, I mean a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just pick this up, and I'm going to get the other giants as well. We're going to push with it. Sylvanas is nearby, but she has not turned off the stuff just yet. There we go. Oh, no, there we don't go. He was using the Banshees for that. Here comes a little bit of engagement onto Nano, but no hard engage just yet. Meanwhile, Hawker's going to go ahead and get a lot of pressure on the bottom lane.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
Alright, would you go ahead and have the wall of the bottom keep going down? Will you stop? Oh, nice. Wailing Arrow catches 3 people. You do have a bunker dropping down. This blade is very low. The boss is down. So is the peak. I don't think they can go for end here, but you know what? I don't know if they know that. Okay, we can go ahead and have them backing back off. Temple is up and running. Obviously, this will start showing in the middle because the bottom is already gone. Marla goes ahead and harvests back. No one is up at top temple just yet. So obviously this is a slight advantage for CCS, despite the fact of all that. Never mind. You have an invasion about to come over. Here comes Tremor and Weary Day. Just gonna knock it back. Here's a big engage. It is 3 versus 4 up here. Ret going very far out of drift at the moment. Nice pull out from Anduin. Ret would have taken a huge amount of damage, and that was kind of coming in, not really respecting the seven-sided. But the Anduin showed up and said, nope. I still think about 5 of them hit, so that he's still about 35% of his health. But does go ahead and touch the moon well, and is back to healing the full. Nice stun happening onto Ret. Trying to keep everything in. It does look like Nano is trying to catch Roger. Roger does go in and get taken out. Does get finished off by Sylvanas. Nano is now turning their attention onto Weary Day, it looks like. There is Ret going down. Hogger finishes up his quest as the Grey Man goes down. Zergling very low, but it looks like everybody's looking at Weary Day right now. There's sometimes strike. They just say nope. Guess who doesn't survive? It's you! I love them just like waiting for him to teleport out.
Blue team has destroyed a fort. The red team's
This is the weirdest 1v1 I've ever seen.
assaulted.
Like, yes, I know they're on core, but I want to see this. This is hilarious. Okay, there's actually a fight going on. I should probably watch this. And we have game number 2 going over to the side of Censorship. Congratulations to them. Very back and forth game. Again, it sort of felt bad, and then all of a sudden it didn't anymore. And now I have an idea. So we'll go over stats real quick, and then I will try and implement my idea. We'll see if it works. Hopefully, hopefully. Looking at healing, we do have Anduin out healing the Kharazim to really the surprise of no one. Kharazim is very much a like Anduin is a you take him because he heals well. Kharazim brings a lot to the package other than healing. In terms of damage, we have Sylvanas leading the way, but Cassia right there with them. Actually, only 300 damage separating the two. And then we do have Greymane, the infrared coming in with 37,000. And there's that ever important soap. We do have Sylvanas leading the way, followed up by Blaze and Junkrat. Looking at the talents, here they are. Copy them, love them, hate them. Sketch them in your sketchbook. And I will be back in 2 shakes. Alright, guys. A little bit kind of a janky solution. I can't see chat anymore, but you know what? We have a much, much, much higher quality feed, I hope. We are in Battlefield of Eternity. We do have heavy impact choosing first pick and first ban, so they are going to get the first pick and first ban. That's how that works. You aren't going to be able to see me, at least not for a, because I don't want to have to tap out and show you my like terrible setup for much longer than I have to. But hopefully this is yeah. Can you guys? There's the problem. Pop. Okay, that should actually fix it. It looks like. I hope. Forgot to do one minor thing, but you know what? I remember in about 30 seconds we should be. Okay, we do go ahead and have Stukov, Bala, and Junkrat being taken out. This is the first time we do not actually have the bans onto the me, or the bans onto the globals being put into account. I really need this thing to show up on the preview monitor. I mean, it is on the preview to show up on the live broadcast.
With every death comes honor. With honor.
This is always the problem. I don't know how long 30 seconds is. Okay, good. Good. Maybe good. Thing. Okay, it looks good. It looks good. Fantastic.
Ready for action.
That terrified me. So, okay, getting back to the cast, I can breathe again. We do go and have Roger pick up Hanzo almost immediately. I almost said Hanzo. I almost let my like southern accent creep into my cast. Cannot allow that. It's not allowed. Yrel on Nathanatos is getting off of Blaze of their own volition. Blaze was not banned out, but then this is just like, you know what? On Battlefield, I don't like being a big old chargy boy. I want to be the hoppy goat. And then Red, there's gonna be hop twins at the moment.
This is my jam.
Alright, Zerkling is going to get onto the Blaze because that was left open, so we are going to have Blaze versus Yrel. Flambe Goat going on. There's also going to be Lucio being played by Weary Day. Diablo does get banned out. They do not want to give Trimmer Diablo if they can help it. Lucio is interesting. Not quite as overpowered as he used to be, but still a very, very solid healer. Makes me wonder if they're going for an engage comp, because Lucio does kind of help you move around the map and move into your opponent very, very quickly. Whenever Yrel and Nurden jump in, are they going to try and just like move straight into the back line? Possibly. They do go ahead and get... Oh, interesting. Heavy Impact is actually the one to get rid of Hanzo. Not what I expected.
Balloons, grant us strength.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
Balloon grant us strength indeed. That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that, MFCEO. But yeah, Zagara is not banned at all, and no one seems interested. They may have made an agreement behind... I will have to ask at the end of the interview. Oh, it's not a best of 3. I'm sorry, I didn't update that. It's a best of 5. Let me fix that. You guys are going to see ugly... Well, actually, you know what? No, I will fix it. You'll see ugly stuff for a second. I apologize. This is the problem. Normally I can go ahead and like do stuff without you seeing it, but not when I'm capturing my own input and output. But this is the only way to like not have to do it in window mode. But that also makes the FPS much, much, much better. So I hope you actually legit. I want you guys to appreciate just the like during stream surgery I did to give you the best experience possible. Head pats, I demand them. We do have Chromie and Tracer being picked up. Tracer, interesting. Someone tell Mockery about this. He always likes reviewing the Pro Scene Tracer games. I just love casting CCS games, what can I say? Screw the rules. I need casting. Actually, we can't make it a best of 7. My thing only goes up to 5. I can't actually set more than that, even though I'm not being very good and actually putting the maps in. But would you go ahead and have? Whoa. Okay, actually, before we get into this, I am struggling with this a lot. Mouse and keyboard. Do not enable mouse scroll. I am tired of hitting the edge of the keyboard. So as we come into the game, representing Can't Censorship, over here on the blue side, we have Marlowe playing that there Tracer. Red is once again on Murdered. Red really, really likes Murdered. We do go ahead and have on the dark horse, literally, Marlowe. I already said that. Nano is playing the Chromie. We do have Porky bouncing around on that there Malfurion. And then in the middle lane, for some reason, the Thanatos is on the Urel. Opposing them on the middle lane, we do have Infrared playing the Sylvanas. Trimmer is coming out on Varian. Zerglin going to the top lane on Blaze. We also do have Hanzo being played by Roger. I know it's Roger, but Roger sounds better. And Weary Day is on Lucio. Here's everyone else coming through. Infrared does do a decent bit of damage, but is being hunted down by Tracer. A lot of sand comes in, and Infrared actually drops to not low enough to show me the hit points, but I'm guessing like 300. Alright, once again, that Infrared is just being like pummeled. They have clearly identified them as okay. Tracer can punish this, and if we can get Infrared down, I think they kind of heard what chat's been saying about how good Infrared is, and like, let's just try taking them off the map. Trevor, I don't know if you know this, but until level 4, you're a big minion. But we do actually, Trevor does survive long enough to get Murden killed as well, and actually Nano is going to be next. This is a 3-4-1 in favor of Heavy Impact, having a very, very heavy impact at the beginning part of this game. Top lanes we have it. Yeah, we definitely have those jumping in right as I come up here. Do a little bit of damage onto Zergling, but it does like realistically like Blaze into Urel, at least in the early game, very, very rarely results in kills. May more if Inver's gonna come up here, but that it does look like Urel can just walk back. Marlowe also came up. Marlowe just seems to maybe actually taking this just to bully Infrared. Infrared going to get down to about 200 health. There's the like stun from Zergling. Didn't know exactly where Tracer was going back to. Hearth back from both, but it does look like we have Infrared on their way back up. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, what is happening? It does look like CCS is in a defensive position back against their towers. Does the Shaman camp being put up on both sides. Urel sees that they're on the top camp, but there's not a dang thing she can do about it. Now they are getting to this camp just a little bit late. They may not get it done before the Immortal spawn. Okay, it looks like they will. Although, okay, and there's the kill on Roger. Everyone moving through. Zergling takes a good bit of damage. The sands fall from the sky. There goes ahead and charge it. A lot of damage going into Nano. Zergling is very much on top of this. But Nano will survive. She will survive. It does look like we've got the race started on the side of Heavy Impact. No one is down yet, but they are definitely doing a lot more damage. Urel is moving down. Here comes the attempt at a defense. Zergling's got a little bit focused, down to about half health. Urel trying to come in the backline. There is a stun onto Varian, and Weird Day's in the middle of a lot of things, but Marlowe's very, very low. He's trying to get back. Marlowe has to be healed up. Red also looking not too well good for wear, but Zergling and Infrared having to fall back. And the halftime show is called. Hanzo's still over here being like, yeah, you guys were fighting? I don't know anything about that. Just like the Thanatos is going to be going down. We're going to have goat legs for dinner. Rhett looking like the next target. This will be focused on right here. Sun comes down, and we have another kill onto CCS. 5-1 in favor of Heavy Impact. Johan's able to go ahead and just finish this up. Oh, and I can still Sylvanas is helping. I'll talk about that. It does look like the Immortal's going down to the bottom lane because a little bit of damage has been done to these towers. Whereas these are pristine. Comparatively, anyway.
The demon approaches the gates of heaven.
Demon does approach the gates of heaven. Here they come in. Lot of aggression coming through. Marlowe doing a huge bit of damage. Sometimes I say things and then I think out of my mouth. I'm like, why did I say that? Marlowe was like DPSing the Immortal? Oh, speaking a lot of damage though, we do have Yrel going down one more time. So this is going to make CCS be a lot more defensive right here. Once again though, keep in mind Heavy Impact has seemed to have a lead in a lot of the games. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Certainly up here, this is going to go and try and take out. Did go ahead and take out the wall and one of the towers. Does also put the Moonwell, which is very, very critical. Marlowe up here, but Tracer. Never mind. I'm in the wrong place. Really takes just a bit of damage. Red does catch them with a hammer, but no real ability to follow up happening just yet. Tommy has now unlocked her level 10. First one in the game. Although, look at this experience difference. Tommy is holding it right now, though. Does not actually know what she wants to pick up. Alright, looks like Marlowe and the Predators are moving in. However, the big push is coming up here. They do have a Pausher camp backing it up. And the most important, they see two of their opponents are here. Tracer did Hearth back. Hearth back was inside of things, so they know she's coming. But it's still 5 versus 4 with the rail at the bottom.
I fight for the glory of the high heavens.
We're going to see the beginning of the reverse sweep. Because right now, Heavy Impact is very, very much in command of this game. Sylvanas and Hanzo are just moving through here. And Yrel is taking a camp?
I must find another way.
I mean, I guess they really just want the experience right now. They don't want to fight without level 10s. That makes more sense, but I consider that. Quest is finished by the Murden. Trimmer moving in. There's a nice bunker going ahead and just flambeing the back line. We're just trying to get this all the way down. It is a defensive position. This is good for CCS, especially since they now have level 10. There's a lot of damage, and we do have Hanzo being taken out. Weird Day looking very, very low. The Hanzo's looking for jump in. Does get booped back in the middle of their jump, so aren't going to be able to do that. But with the kill on Hanzo, they do move in and start trying to anti-race. Alright, Chromie does get taken out. Sorry, I was actually looking at the NGS Discord to verify what was happening. But we are back now. Marlowe goes ahead and takes a good bit of damage. They are having to do a full fallback, but they did get the Immortal down to about 5,000 health. Without the Chromie, it looks like they're going to have to fully... Yep, Rhett is taken out as well. I say fully disengage, and then Rhett didn't disengage, and so now Rhett should be disengaged. Immortal is coming through the bottom lane. Both lanes have lost their fort on the side of CCS. No forts have been lost on the side of Heavy Impact. Rebel trying to come in from the side, does not actually have the ability to do so just yet. There is the Immortal is almost gone. It looks like we aren't going to see the first peak of the game just yet. Shimmer is falling back a little bit, and there is a full disengage coming from the side. They are going to try and pick up their opponent's shaman. Their opponents that do not have level 13, they're a little bit supposed to go in, but not completely hesitant. There is the nice arrow catching 2 people, but there is no follow-up. They just won the shaman and they got it. Here's everyone else moving on in. Goes ahead and gets caught in his slowing stand, down to about half health before they disengage. Here's the thing, CCS doesn't want to follow too far, because again, they are still down 13. They don't want to try and force a fight, but they definitely want to try and force a pick off so they can get one. Top lane has pushed decently far, but I doubt they'll get any experience out of that. Moving back and forth.
Prepare yourselves. I will reach your position shortly.
A lot of damage on the surgeon. It's going to be a hard time. Let's go ahead and pop the bunker. So, trying to get by themselves enough time for the rest of the team, and there's the rest of the team. Porky takes a huge amount of damage, was a little bit too far forward, and Porky gets killed right before the arrow comes through. The arrow goes through Porky's body and carries it off the map. It did not actually happen, but it should have. Red is the next one to be focused on. Gonna have a hard time staying alive. In fact, by hard time, I mean no time. We do meanwhile have Urel in the back line, trying to turn away. But it does look like most of the team is not even interested to try to chase Urel. They just want to go up here and race, get the Immortal, and win the game. That is the play right now.
Our battle cannot remain here.
There's halftime triggered. Oh, that's slightly unfortunate. We do have the push in from CCS. Everyone is back alive. Are they going to be able to win this? Immediately, we have a disengage and a fallback, going to a more defensible position on the side of Heavy Impact. They have seen what happens when CCS actually gets a good engage. They do not want to let that happen again. There's the push in. We do have the hammer landing on the blade. Red taking a lot of damage, having to fall back. It's not able to get out there. Murder does go down. No real low health bars on the red team just yet. Although, as I said, Red goes down to about half. Are they fighting or are they racing? They're doing both, and it's confusing. Porky does get taken out. There's the Urel trying to absorb everything, but is right in the middle of a lot of pain. Is trying to distract them and buy time. So it does look like everyone's going to go ahead and move through. Porky's saying words. With that being said, we have everyone moving through.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Alright. The Immortal is going to be going up to the top lane in just a second. We do have Roger and Weary Day going back and forth trying to clear this out. It does look like they're going to support the Immortal rather than try and split push. At the bottom, the keep is already down, so we do have continual catapult pressure going along the bottom lane. Here's the engage coming through the back line. Valkyrie is taken out almost immediately, followed up by Tracer. That was a good attempt, a nice try coming through an area they weren't expected, but unfortunately they were expected. I thought it was one of the only survivors. And this looks like it's going to be at the end of the game, unfortunately.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just burn this down very quickly. Everything is gone at the moment. There is a silence that will try to do everything they can, but it's not going to be enough. The heat goes down, your rail goes down. Actually, it went down a while ago, and we do go and have this glistening, amazing tribute to Heavy Impact Glory. Alright, so looking at things real quick. In terms of healing, we do have a much, much closer game because we have 2 actual healers in it. Malfurion does win slightly with 47,000 healing over 41,000, but then so much more damage went into CCS that there was a lot more for Malfurion to heal, so that may not mean as much as it might. Chromie does win the DPS race barely, and Fred doing about 1,000 less. Actually, like 600 less. And then in terms of the experience, we do have Blaze leading the way, followed up by Urel. So with that taken care of, here are the talents. Copy them, love them, hate them. It's so funny when I see Chromie in the game, I'm just like, wait, why didn't no one else check their level 60? Oh, right. I remember. Wow, that is something I had not actually paid attention to in the game. At the end of the game, blue team was level 14 and red team was level 18. Hello? Okay, that's definitely a thing. Regardless, I'll go ahead and go between games. We are going up to game number 4. Is it going to have the impact starting the reverse sweep? We'll have to find out. See you in a second. Alright everyone, welcome to game number 4, Towers of Doom. As you can see on the lovely screen at the top, we do go ahead and have Censorship just needs to win one more game. This is actually, they have first pick. This map was the selection of Heavy Impact, so we'll have to see what they choose to do with it. Brightwing is banned out initially. Looks like we're back to the global ban meta. And yes, someone said this in chat, but just to confirm, Blizzard has actually made a change, and Zagara is not selectable in any mode, but she is still bannable. So that's why no team is actually banning her, because you can't pick her. So why waste a ban on it? So we do go ahead and have Uber. So not really the global meta. They just don't like Brightwing, and maybe they're going for some sort of hyper carry, and Polymorph messes that up. The fact that they also don't want the point and click stun or the divine shield sort of like indicates that as well. The problem is there's a lot of things that could be causing that. There's a lot of things that could be leading to that. And also for anyone that was wondering, yeah, I'm not at the bottom of your screen right now. Had to do a little bit of a very, very interesting system in order to be able to show this, and that includes I don't want to change scenes any more than I have to, so I just am not using the scene where I usually use for the draft because I don't want to have to change it. This will get better, I promise. I only know of Cigar and Stukov, but I'm sure there's another one. So, Vala is going to be the first pick coming in from Nano. I don't know that Vala is the hyper carry. Vala always scares me a little bit. Like, you can play her, but it feels like that may actually be what this is for. Because Uther is very, very good into Vala, because any ability to keep Vala from moving at all just causes her to explode. So that's definitely not a big exploding is bad. Weary Day continues to be on the Malfurion, and Roger is on Tychus. Once again, I just get interested because Infrared was Tychus in the first game. What is causing them to be like, you know what? Let's pick the hero again, but not let the person who's already warmed up on the hero play it? Oh, yeah, CEO, it definitely is. I had to do a lot of stuff to make it better, but it is better.
Our world is worth
Like I said,
fighting
in
for.
a little bit, we'll be back with my good computer, and everything will be fine again. Fingers crossed. So, we do have Lucio versus Malfurion one more time. I feel like we just had this, actually. And Rhett coming out on May, leaving Murden for the first time this match. But still, it's going to be a tank whose name starts with an M, so not leaving it too far. I keep expecting, for some reason, whenever the characters get banned, to have a voice line, so I waited for Doc to say changes upon us, and then I realized it was a ban, so they're not going to say that. Neither offlane having picked up anything. Is Thanatos going back to their Blaze? Because they did get off of Blaze and then they lost. And Ubrok's still being banned out even without Zagara. Towers of Boom.
Victory for the Forsaken.
I think it's a lot instead of Zagara, but
great destiny.
and it feels like they're going for a very similar comp. They used Tremor on Varian last time in order to lock down a lot of kills. The question is, now they do have Lucio in order to boot Varian back if he charges in, but what will they do to stop that? Because it was very effective in the last one. Alright, yep, Thanatos does indeed go back to Blaze, and we do have the double support comp with Marlowe now playing Karazim, so this definitely is going to be a Vala hyper carry. Kind of called it when I saw the bans on Brightwing and Uther. Malfurion will have a hard time with a fully empowered Vala, but that is the question. Will they be able to get on top of her? This is also Towers of Doom.
Where will we end up this time?
I was just thinking that. I'm like, Blaze is not the best at double soaking, so that may cause a problem. And the Vikings are great at double soaking. I do definitely feel like, unfortunately, 'cause I'm sorry, my first team was CCS team. I have to root for CCS teams, but the intellect in me says, well, sorry, Heavy Impact won this draft and they won it hard. CCS will really have to play out of their minds to be able to win this. Going to the game right now, and we'll see if they can do it. Alright, here we go.
Prepare yourself for battle, heroes.
Coming in on the blue side, the Chevaliers of Circumstance. I don't know. We do go ahead and have Rhett playing May for the first time this series. We have Nathanatos back on their blade, back in the saddle. We have Nano coming in on the Hyper Carry Vala. Marlo is swooping around
The
on that
battle
there
begins
Lucio, and we do have Porky
10
jumping around on
seconds.
Karazim. On the other side, we do go ahead and have Roger
5,
playing the Tychus.
4,
Weary Day is
3,
on Malfurion
2,
again.
1.
Infrared is on Sylvanas.
Fight.
Trimmer is playing the Varian. And we do have Zergling playing Olaf the Stout, Eric the Swift, and Bearlog the Fierce. Darn it, my coach is a Vikings main. I have to introduce them properly. I can't just say playing the Lost Vikings. Give them the credit they deserve. We have Sylvanas Cheese coming down here to the bottom of the map. Alright, Trimmer takes a good bit of damage. Is going to have to fall back. Is not a real hero just yet. This should not actually happen too much. We're going to have a Ret Claw attack. Hyper Carry Bala is still alive, but the Hyper Carry May does have to like fall down to the dirt. While it is going to go ahead and take fire at will. Much beautiful damage. Then it's going to have to struggle against this. Oh, that's unfortunate. And the real question is, can Eric do enough damage to really be a threat to the Thanatos? We're going to have the Sappers being picked up on both sides. Trevor is in the bushes. Let's go ahead and catch Marlo a little bit, but still does not have... Was really looking for level 4 to be able to taunt, but did not have it just yet.
Heroes.
Kerosene does go ahead and take out Olaf in the middle, but there is a sleeping and taunted Vala, and Vala just gets deleted. Did not take the gambit, so no actual long-term disadvantage to that. Alright, goes ahead and I love how just well they all position just outside of that. Like, I don't even care. There's the taunt coming down onto Karazine. Porky has to fall back, is down very low. You get armor, and that's kind of kept helping him up. But Porky's having to hearth back.
You must capture them quickly.
This is just starting out very bad for CCS, unfortunately. To go ahead and have... Obviously, the Vikings are going to contest top. There is no gentleman's agreement between the Vikings, because they are not gentlemen.
Go forth and claim the altars in my name. The Raven Lord demands it.
Here's everyone else going ahead and plow it on in here.
Heroes slain.
Another kill onto Olaf, but that's not a real kill yet. Those Vikings are only worth a quarter of a level. Will they be able to stop this? They will. We are also up in experience for the side of the Vikings, not surprisingly. The longer they can delay this, the longer they can keep the lanes from being choked. So we do go ahead and have Baylor at the top, just being experienced the whole time. Level 7s are obtained for heavy impact, but Trimber is in the middle of stun. Just go ahead and use Protective, by the way. Just try and get out of here. We do have Olaf going down. I can't believe Trimber's still alive, has 200 health. Not still alive is Karazin. 21 stacks on that multi-shot quest.
Ravenlord will not keep me from this realm.
This poor Blaze. I love that CCS went down to the bottom. They're like, oh, you're still fighting? Holy crap. Alright, Blaze is coming back down. We do have a kill onto Eric. I think that is 4 Viking kills overall. Because we are up to 1 kill, and I don't think we actually killed a real hero.
Bring down the Gravekeeper's core.
They do manage to get 1 of the 3 eventually. Though partially that's because their opponents didn't fight for it. Forky takes a lot of damage, down to about 200 health. Tyke is just hot on their heels, but they end up backing off at the last second. That laughing does mean that we do have the horseman on the map. So with that being done, there is a taunt coming out, and we do have Karazin just getting it deleted off the map. Van says stay right here, and then the rest of the team says actually go away. They go back into their grave, which is very far away, and Fred down pretty far, but also does not have a lot of health. He does have enough health in order to take out Lucio. Lucio's going to be making no more songs in the near future. Sancho's taking a decent amount of damage, and right now they actually pulled all 5 people down here and are still getting pushed off the point. Vikings are in both lanes, just getting more and more experience. And this is where the map just starts like cinching down.
The altars rise again.
Altars are coming up right now. And even though the announcer said the altars are coming up, it actually meant the altar because it's only one in the bottom lane at the moment. They are moving in right now. And by they, I mean one small Viking. A bit of damage on the Tremor, but actually much more damage on Nano. There is a pushback. They're trying to get Roger. I'm sorry. I don't even mean to not say Roger sometimes. It just happens.
Let the assault begin. Ravenlord will fall before me.
Your failure will soon be complete.
Now, CCS does have level 10s at this point. Their opponents have level 12, but at least they're no longer at a massive disadvantage for not having their heroic talents. Big rotation up. Yep. They actually went in and engaged into this without their hybrid carry. Paula was not nearby. Trevor taking a lot of damage, coming out, and we do have Lucio being taken out. The only thing being focused a little bit there is the spin to win. But again, we are up 6 kills versus 1. Trevor dives in with almost no health and just knows that they don't have enough burst in order to deal with it. Hyper carry Volleycomps is very ill-advised, unfortunately. Here Tremor comes moving across, beating the rest of Heavy Impact. Trying to get this taken care of. There's not one loses, and look, the bottom is only down like 2,000. Not even that. Oh, it is even that. Never mind. Math is hard. Another single ultra phase that is good for CCS. They stand to lose another 5 shots, going down to 22. Definitely need to figure something out and quickly. There are the sappers, and right now it just seems like CCS's plan is to tread water. I don't sink any lower, but I don't know what their plan is to actually get out of this. There goes another 5 shots. We got on 22, which doesn't mean at least mean they got the sappers, but again, that's just like taking bailing water. That's not actually helping their situation. It's just taking less damage than they otherwise could. I don't know what the solution for them is though. It's a big problem. Again, this is just what happens late game on this map. We're going to end up with everyone just standing here trying to get the sappers to walk forward. Sappers may make it. 2 of them do go across. There is the Varian getting hit by the May. Varian does protect. Very, very low Lucio. Lucio does the silence, and Varian actually survived. We did have 2 of the 3 sappers get in. The last one was killed. We're down to 20 versus 36 for health. Lucio is sitting there looking very, very, very not alive. I was trying to think of a better word, and there's not one.
Once more, the altars rise from the depths.
Double altar phase coming up in the top lane. You took over there, everyone moving through. That is so sad. Like Porky or the May went all the way around in order to go ahead and get that one attack. There is they're trying to go ahead and catch these. The Shower comes in from behind. There's the attack. There's comes out and heals the Nano. Nano can hit a lot of this with those W shots. They're doing a lot of damage right now. Has gotten up to 62 stacks over the course of the game. And we do have a kill on Varian. This might be the beginning of a little bit of a turnaround. It's only one person so far. Never mind. The blaze does go down. They again is out. The Vikings are here, and there's a lot. Nano is being the next one. Nano, you can't go that way.
Hero slain. Blue team dominated.
Fire the towers! Destroy!
Another 5 shots, taking the core down to 9 health. And yep, not surprisingly, they do immediately move to boss. Boss will take us down to 5 health, or 1 shrine away from taking this match. CCS is down 2 levels, and more importantly, that ever important 16 talent here. Bunker is used. It looked like not very unnecessarily. This will be down for another minute. Okay, we have everyone moving to the bottom lane. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this taken care of. Nano getting the experience they can. They really want level 16. It will only help them so their opponents get level 20, but they still want
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground center. Use it well.
What? I mean,
Surprisingly, they don't move in, and the sappers do come after CCS. And they're not going to do too much, but oh, there's a great. We're going to go ahead and Emperor him out almost immediately. Follow goes ahead and picks that off. Archer versus Archer, and Follow wins. There's everyone's moving down. It does look like the next kill target is Tychus. And yep, it is going to be successful. Now they do need to be careful. There are sappers moving through this lane. But this is an ultra phase, and they have about 13 seconds, but once the ultras come up, they have to make sure that the Vikings don't get any of them. So even though they've gotten 2 people down, it's still very critical. Vikings are right here, and do take out Lucio as Lucio moves up.
Take the altars and put an end to the Gravekeeper. And it will
CCS
not
goes down
be
to 1
stolen
health, but
from
they did take
you.
the bottom tower. They can afford to give up 1.
activate the towers!
Right, a lot of damage on the Zerkers, they're having to fall back. It is 3 versus 3, I guess, although one of the Vikings isn't here. So 3 versus 2.6. 6. It's going to be a lot less now. In a second, as Trevor survives. While going ahead and continue to win, Trevor is still alive. Varian is not supposed to be that good a tank. Holy crap.
Show the Raven Lord the extent of my power.
Oh, and they got the other altar. I kind of missed that was happening, not gonna lie. But good game. We do have a heavy impact winning game number 4. Moving us to game number 5. Reverse sweep is real. So, looking at the end stats, we do have Malfurion out healing both of the healers on the other team. 75,000 from Weary Day. Porky and Lucio getting 67,000 combined. In terms of hero damage, not surprisingly, the hyper carry Vala did hyper carry. She was doing the most she could do, 76,000. So actually doing slightly more damage than Malfurion healed, but unfortunately when you're the only damage dealer and you just barely outdo the healing on the other side, that leads to kind of what we saw. Sylvanas and Tygus coming in second and third with 56,000, 54,000. In terms of experience, we do have the Lost Vikings, to the surprise of literally no one, winning the soap game. Placements in second. Here are the talents. Copy them, love them, hate them. Are we actually going to see a game get to level 20 ever? The answer so far with 4 trials has been no, but definitely could be something different that comes out of it. I will see you all in the next game. Wrong button. You know what, we're back now. We are in Garden of Terror. This is the 5th and final map of the series. This was actually map picked by CCS, giving up their first pick potential. Apparently deciding that with Zagara not able to be picked, then the first pick is not as beneficial as it used to be. Go ahead and have first pick going over to heavy impact. Now the real question is, what is it about Garden of Terror that made CCS want to come here? This is not a bad Lost. Okay, and we do have the Lost Vikings being banned out nearly immediately. False ad again. Global shutdown on the side of heavy impact. There is again, basically just globals are not welcome here. So what we kind of see is that they want a little bit more one-on-one brawly fight. They don't want people jumping in at the last second. So will we see a Brightwing thing down here? No, they do say that variant was actually super good. We didn't like it. Get that away from us. real question, like, bands are interesting. I like bands. Bands are very, very awesome. The real question is, what are we going to see here? Obviously not double sport hyper carry. That did not work well. So not going to be what's going to come out of CCS this time.
I stand ready.
Roger going to go ahead and take the ball up. We're going to go to the other side. Are they going to try for double sport hyper carry? I wouldn't recommend it. There's a reason that's not seen as often as it used to be.
Ready for action!
Alright. Once again. Oh, Nanos on the Muradin? What? There's no way that stands, is there? Oh, no, that just does go over to Hogger. Gives Blaze up. It says, I actually really, really like that Hogger game I played. Oh, I feel like that was the Shrines game, and that was the game, the first game they lost.
Oh, this is my jam! Need a light.
And Zerkling is going to say once again, hey, you picked Hogger once before, I picked Blaze, and we won, so I'm going to do this again. Seems like a great, great, great idea. Weary Day is going to be on the Lucio one more time. Sylvanas is going to be taken out of the equation. No shutting down buildings. The Terror does enough of that. Thank you. So to a certain extent, this map plays a lot like Cursed Hollow. That maybe what they're thinking is just, you know what, get a very, very good team fight team, take them out, because the thing is, this is the map you have the highest chance of win if you get the initial Terror phase. Like, there's more comebacks for Cursed, there's more comebacks for Infernal. Like, but if you get the Terror phase against you, it just you wreck your whole shot. Marlo gonna go on these hyper blow up Rayman, and we do have 40 coming on Uther. Very, very reminiscent of the Cursed Hollow game.
The wait is
Interesting.
over.
A second offlaner, so they're going a kind of Wild Hearts draft, which kind of makes sense because you do have Weary Day and Zuli on the team, where they don't have a dedicated tank. Well, hi there, Abathur. Aww. Okay, Abathur going to come out, but yeah, we got a double bruiser. This is very interesting. I'm not sure who to bet on. I also realize I haven't done bets in a bit, but you know what? Thanks for reminding me, chat. Here you go. All right. And with that, we can go ahead and have, coming in on the blue side, we have CCS, winner of the first two games of the series, and then actually got pushed on their back foot the last two, trying to close this out and not lose the series overall. We do have Porky playing that Uther, Thanatos on the Hogger, trying to see if I actually know his name by making it unstoppable for an extended period of time. We have Rhett back on this favored Muradin, Nano playing the Abathur. I almost had a Nubrak, if that is wrong. And Marlo coming out on the gray main.
3, 2,
On the other side of the map,
1.
winner of the last two games in this series. Try and close it out here. We do have Heavy Impact with Trimmer playing that Blaze. We do have Roger playing the Cassia. Weary Day is back on Lucio. Infrared is on the Vala. And Zerkling actually leaving the StarCraft universe for the first time this series, playing the Yrel. Guys, you realize they're going to see you when they rotate up your... Oh, there is a bush there. Never mind. I'm dumb. But Zerkling actually kind of figures out, hey, these people are off the map. I don't see them. So that little bit of trickery does not pay dividends. Alright, double stun. Oh, and this is a 4 versus 3. Like, Abathur is around, but doesn't really count as a hero. Nice attempt at the gank, but kind of put them into a Censor position. A lot of damage on the Porky. They're trying to finish that off. A little bit of a heal comes out, but Porky is going to be the first blood of this game. He's going to run around as an Uther Ghost and kill the rest of the team up. I might go down, but you guys don't have to. Grab Rocket is Red going to take that out. Well, Hogger is doing Hogger things, to the surprise of literally no one. Oh, Hogger! They do move in and get a stun. Oh, lots of damage. We do have a second kill to Lucio. Trevor is in the middle of a lot of the enemy, and Rhett moves in, tries to body block, is not quite able to do it. There is a ping onto Trevor. Bounce does end up not supporting the follow-up. We are at 1-1. Level 4 is coming online for both teams in just a second, but Heavy Impact does get a little bit ahead of time. Speed is spawning. Everyone will be up for it. Abathur is not really yet. The thing is, you kind of expect to lose the seed up until level 10.
The first seed is sprouted. Gather it, would you? I would so hate for you to not be the first to harvest enough.
Alright. Looks like they're going to try and delay this as long as they can. Let Abathur get value by being in all of the lanes. But this should be something that they lose. Oh, nice job from Rhett moving around the side, making positive space. Uriel is here. All 5 members of Heavy Impact are fighting over this position. So we have a small experience advantage for CCF, but Porky looks like he's going down in just a second. No, actually is surviving for the time being. Nathanax was almost taken out Infrared. I did not think there was any real chance that we'd actually have kills coming out of CCS, but it looks like Shut My Mouth. Zergling almost goes down. Zergling gets moved back, ends up being very alive, and does get taken out by the Greybane. The Cocktail goes ahead and catches them in the back. This is why you don't drink and drive, kids, because Uriel was driving somehow. Don't ask. And despite having Abathur and despite being on paper the one who should lose these engagements, CCS does pick up the first seed. Moves out. Here's Murder.
Verge of sprouting. Prepare to gather it.
Interestingly, that these camps are being picked up later than their opponents. Opponents have no camps to actually take. These end up being right next to where the seed is. The Porky moves in first. This is, you don't want to fight within that spell power. And once again, Porky down just like single digits for a second. Trevor really wants this kill.
Hero slain.
And we do go ahead and have Uther taken out. Followed immediately by Murder. Marlowe the only one still up in this area and will be taken out in just a second. Uther goes doing everything they can to try and keep Marlowe alive, but it will not be enough.
Slain.
Then there's just like Azar's like, yep, you guys are so dead. I'm going so. Trying to get us to level 10. One seed all. We move in. We're almost level 10 on the side of Heavy Impact. Still a full level to go for CCS. This is a 4 versus 3 up here. Be a little bit careful.
to sprout.
This is the bottom lane. Right now they are trying to siege top. Not super interesting just yet.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Alright, Trimmer does go in. He's get body blocked by the Meriden, but he's going to unstoppable way out of there. This is 4 versus 3. You want to be careful being too aggressive. But level 10 is unlocked for CCS. Looking at the ult real quick as this chase down happens. Oh, it's 4 versus 4. Nano is now on the scene.
It is
We do go ahead and
time.
have high five,
Do what
bunker
must
drop,
be
strafe,
done.
ball lightning, and ardent defender. On the other side of the equation, we do go ahead and have Fine Shield, Ultimate Evolution, Broken Sword, Waterfall, and Avatar. That was the ultimate. I was like, what are you doing over there? I'm a bit surprised they blew Ultimate Evolution that soon, instead during the team fight. Not sure that was why, or maybe they thought the team fight was happening. Alright, here is everything coming in. Jordan gets a lot of damage. Does go ahead and pop their ult to absorb damage. Strafe comes out. A lot of damage going on over the CCS team. Trimmer does barely miss with that one. Marlowe looking great. Watcher looks a little bit put upon. There's another bunker coming down. We have about 20 seconds for another ultimate evolution. So even this team fight out. These guys are so weak. Oh, there's the Flying Shield. It looks like, yeah, we thought those should have just gotten out of there. And we already killed the Thanatos. 5 kills to 2 in favor of heavy attack. About to be 6, it looks like. Yep, and we do have Rhett going down. With that being said, we can go ahead and have Marlowe moving up to the top right. And meanwhile, down below, the heavy impact is just moving in. It's interesting, they're not using their advantage to push the wall. They're just saying, let's come in from the top, take out the Moonwell, try and take out the fort. It looks like they're going inside the wall and just making themselves attack to retreat. Exiting their lead, about to hit level 13 talent here. So with that being said, a lot of damage is coming across them. They're having a hard time actually keeping this up. So CCS is just having they had a very dominant team fight that led to a victory in teams 1 and 2. But here it definitely feels like the heavy impact has sort of figured out what their strategy is, figured out how to counter it, and is just picking them apart very slowly. CCS is fighting very well, but
a seed has sprouted.
he's looking at the top and
Let's
it's 2
not
kills to
fight
7.
over
Like
it,
they just aren't able to have that big team fight that got in the first 2 games. Anything can change, of course, but we're about to have Garden Terrors moving across the map. Unless somehow they can hold this back, which does not seem likely. Hogger even like leaving this area. Alright, here is this moving on through. So we do have the Garden Terror just going through, trying to get a lot of stuff done. Everything is very slowly being whittled away. Alfonso takes a huge amount of damage. There are some low health bars on the side of the red team, but not low enough. And we do have Hogger being taken out. Invulnerable comes out to save Greyman, but we do have Uther going down. Red is still alive, but only barely. And the top and bottom Terror, we do have all of the keeps currently down. They're just pushing down the top lane. Both towers are gone. They are pushing in. The Terror is gone, but you know what? So is Greyman. Red is the only one to be alive, and Urel not going to let them get away. Basically a full team wipe. Only Abathurst remains.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Here's everyone else just moving on through. Killing on do. So they actually do back off. They don't go for end because they do see their opponents are about to come back. But yeah, if CCS is going to have a comeback, this is the time to do it. The win condition has been opened for their opponents. Cassie moving across, trying to go ahead and get everything taken care of. A lot of spears going out. Cassie is currently at... Actually took charge strikes, so I can't tell you how far they are on their quest, but 32 on fire at will. That's something. Stormbolt is finished at this point. We can go ahead and have the top giants being taken by the side of Heavy Impact. I don't know what the plan is for CCS. They are down a level, they're down a talent tier.
Heroes.
Court is under attack, I agree. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. The top heap does go down under the assault of Mighty Impact. Mighty Impact, Heavy Impact. But you know what? They are pretty mighty at the moment, so that definitely makes sense. There's a charge up from Trevor. On the Unstoppable, we do go ahead and have Hogger trying to get away. Hogger will not escape. They are moving in. Red is looking very low. Corky has barely any health remaining. And they're going in onto the core. The core's shields are being scratched. I love that ult in order to heal back up. It just goes ahead and get both the core and the keep going. And we do go and have Uther being taken out. Red is the sole survivor. Although actually it does look like Red is back alive as well. But it does look like we go ahead and have the core going down. Goodbye. So with that, game number 3 does go to the side of Heavy Impact, and they end up doing the full reverse sweep to take this series over Censorship. I'm sorry I got bedazzled a few times and forgot to like talk. I was just like, oh my god, look at that. So with that said, let me go ahead and see if I can set up an interview real quick. One moment. No? And it does look like, in fact, they are not actually, they don't actually want to do an interview. They're just like, yeah, we just had a 5-game series that was very, very stressful. We need to relax. We don't want to have our public persona on right now. I actually don't know why they chose not to, but you know what? It is their right, so they are not required to. But we do go ahead and have, in terms of the end of the game stats, Lucio did out-heal the Uther by about 20,000. We do go ahead and have the Cassia and the Vala leading the way on the damage race, 54,000, 42,000. Rayman coming in also with 42,000, tying the Vala. And we do finally in terms of that ever important soap. Have the Abather, to the surprise of no one, ending up out soaking everyone. But Urel actually doing very good job, nearly matching the Abather, and that can be very difficult to do because the Abather is just always where things are. So, with that said, we do go ahead and that is everything. It does look like, in terms of talent, here they are. Copy them down, love them, hate them, take them with you to your next place. And let me go ahead and see if I can get us to another stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Sorry things were a little bit wonky. Like I said, I'm sort of like the last resort caster when no one else can make it because I need my other computer to be working. I feel so, but you know what? I did the best I could. So either you liked it or get over it. It does look like we can go over and see LTK at No Time to Die versus Bronze 6. Let me go ahead and get us over there. Ritz, they don't want to interview, so I can't. Oh, never mind. Apparently I'm not allowed to raid. Why not? I'm a mod? That doesn't make sense. But, okay. With that, I guess I'll go ahead and just say goodnight, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.